Hello everyone, welcome back to the FIA Manufacturer Series. It's round number 12, it's Autopolis and it's Group 4 cars, which generally means front wheel drive cars, four wheel drive cars, and most front engine rear wheel drive cars are going to struggle here like mad. So we were doing this for a bit of fun and you joined me in the qualifying session. As we jump to the onboard footage now, you can see Cubitom up ahead of me in probably the most OP car here, the Alfa Romeo. So let's see how far Cubitom disappears into the distance as we continue on now. Look at that, 151.4 on the banker. That's actually insane. But we're 4.5 tenths up on that lap time at the moment. Obviously, that's going to disappear very quickly through this lap. And Extreme Tyre Wear, of course, is in here as well. Now, if you want to catch this live stream as it happened, do check out the description. All the information is in there. Going through this hairpin now, just trying to avoid the tyre spinning up as best as we can as we continue towards the left-hander now. We haven't put a banker in, we tried to burn as much fuel as possible and just go for that one lap because, as I say, this car struggles here like crazy. But as we head up towards this hairpin, where are we in terms of lap time? You see Cubitom is slowly going away from us at this moment in time. We're still 2.5 tenths in the purple here. So as we leave that corner now, Cubitom should disappear in theory. So let's find out. Now the reason Cubitom disappears after this moment is because we suffer a hell of a lot of understeer. Now we always suffer understeer on tracks that have a lot of undulation. So going uphill mainly for the front wheel drive cars. Of course we we accelerate with the front wheels, but the front wheels are up in the air anyway because all the weight shifted to the rear because we're going uphill, plus we're accelerating, which, you know, increases that substantially, the problem. So the front wheels are way up in the air and we can't really accelerate, we can't really turn either, and that's where we start to struggle. So that's the problem we have here, and obviously our wheels start spinning up and doing all sorts when they do touch the tarmac. Obviously they're touching it just, so they're spinning up anyway because they don't have as much grip. We head towards the line anyway, so you saw we were 2.5 tenths up on a 51.4 and we finished on a 52.5, so we lost 1.2 seconds, not even more than that, 1.4 seconds in one sector. So you can see how front wheel drive cars struggle here. You can see we're going way down the list already in this qualifying session, but some good qualifications there, and let's actually have a look at that grid now. So as you can see, Cubitom did get a pole position, and we've got Carl Williams in P2. That's a good qualification by Carl Williams there in that Mercedes. P3 for Devil in the Toyota, and P4 for TRL Adam in the Ford. That's a really good qualification there. Giuseppe in P5, followed by Apo in P6. The Hyundai always good on its tyres, so one to look out for later on in the race. Matty P7, TRL Aug in P8 there in the Porsche. P9 for Stefanzi there, followed by P10 for Snape. And then we've got Doffra there in P11 in the GTR. So now we get into the back of the grid where cars are going to start to struggle a little bit more. Calcer in P13, a pad player as well. Extreme Tyre Wear, pad player, not going to work out very well. We've got SVDR, the first of the front wheel drive cars. There's me in P16, dreading this race that's about to come. Nico in P17 with a terrible qualification. Jomas with very little practice was in for fun. And then Reba P19. Not someone I've raced before, but this night I did 2 races. And we also actually did something for charity, basically. So I said I'd give $500 to charity. I would have said £500, but my keyboard doesn't have... the font I use doesn't have a pound symbol. My keyboard does, for all those that were trolling me with that one. But even so, we continue with the race. We started on the corner there, so we had to use traction control to get actually going. You see we've lost a huge amount of time to Aguila already. 1 second down as we continue towards the first corner now. And obviously this TT is fast in a straight line, so Nico cannot really overtake me there as we come into the first corner here. Round we go, and we caught up that gap a little bit. Now, quite quickly, I realised SVDR was going to be on the hard tyres. Now, hard tyres, we'd actually tried in the previous race, and it worked out well. So the first 3 laps, you're slower than the medium tyres. End of lap 3 and lap 4 is when the hard tyres are evens with the used mediums. And then after that, the hards are superior. So I only went into this race again because the stream was like, yeah, let's go for it again. So I was like, fine, we'll go again. We're going to do it for fun. So, yeah. This is why we are doing this race. So you can see now we've got SVDR, Aguila ahead of me, Nico right behind me here as we start to head up the hill now. Hill's obviously not very good for us. So as we head towards this braking zone, we start braking very early, only quarter braking and half braking, and Nico goes for an absolute lunge and a half there for full-on braking. and gets it done. Does stop on the apex, a little bit of contact there. Initially you would think, oh blimey, but I should check my radar anyway because I was braking very early and just very softly. And of course you brake softly to avoid that tyre wear. That's one of the critical things that we will discuss in the tyre wear episode of the driving school, is it's all about avoiding 100% braking, because that's how tyre wear is mainly affected. It's braking. So if you do 100% braking all the time, your tyre wear is just going to disappear like that. If it's only quarter braking, you should be able to keep those tyres lasting that little bit longer. Obviously there's some other factors in there as well. Wheel spinning up as accelerating causes tyre wear, and obviously there's a little bit in there in terms of pace as we jump to the TV camera now and going around that last corner to start lap number 2. So you can see Nico's broken away a little bit here from us. We've got Jomas right behind us there because, as I say, the last sector is terrible for us, particularly in the front wheel drive car, as we continue towards the first corner now. Aguila looking for a move there, not quite going to get it done into T number 1. So round we go, and speaking of round, there goes Jomas, giving us a full drift moment. Let's rewind that, watch on again. Fantastic, Jomas. Thanks very much for that lovely little clip there. Full drift moment. So we continue on now onto lap number 4. So we've advanced the race a little bit. Same old, same old. You can see what's happening ahead. Quite a number of cars up ahead actually battling each other. And it's actually Kelster which is causing these battles a little bit. Struggling with the tyre wear. Being a pad player. Extreme tyre wear, pad player. Very significant. And I suppose the other thing we've got to talk about here actually is Michelin, because obviously Michelin have just become a partner for GT Sport. Now I'm hoping tyre wear improves because of that, because I'm not sure Michelin want thousands of tweets from players saying the tyre wear is awful, make your tyres better, but we'll see anyway. But you can see Nico up ahead getting down the inside of SVDR here into their hairpin, stopped it on the apex as well. Just leaving this corner to a tiny little tap there, and SVDR is about to flash his lights there, and Nico get the 5-second penalty. Now in terms of the penalty, I think it's justified in terms of what the physics do, in terms of very bouncy physics, but in reality, if it was the real world, there'd have been a tiny little tap, nobody would have gone off to Narnia, and no 5-second penalty would have happened. Unfortunately, we've got to play with the cards we've been dealt here, so you do have to take bouncy physics into consideration, and Nico comes off pretty unlucky there. You see Kelster causing all sorts of a roadblock up ahead. But as I say, that's due to tyre wear, and hopefully Michelin go, hang on, you can't have tyre wear that extreme, there's no racing, because, I mean, you remember Pirelli in F1, and they still manipulate it a little bit now, but Pirelli are told to, in the fact that when the Pirellis just used to explode, everybody absolutely hated it. Now they just semi-explode, so it's a little bit easier. But up ahead, you can see everybody is absolutely everywhere. There's weaving, carnage, all sorts happening. So hopefully we can get in on this action that is happening. A 4-way battle at the moment for P number 12, which would be quite nice to finish in, to be honest, wouldn't it? Starting from P16, but let's see what happens. We've caught up to Dofra here, and as we leave the first turn, I think we'll advance a little bit further on and see what happens. Of course, Nico's going to take that 5-second penalty, so we do gain that position. You can see Aguila's got past Kelster as well, and we're in a fight now with Dofra and Kelster. So a good opportunity to overtake here is actually this hairpin coming up. So I'm going to try and go around the outside here on Dofra, and the Audi's very good at braking, so we get down the inside. Dofra goes to turn in after we've already overlapped the car. We stopped on the apex, as you can see there, so that wasn't a bad move in my opinion. It's one of those where, similar to Nico earlier on, just Dofra didn't check the radar like I did on lap number 1. I didn't check the radar there. Nico got in on the inside. Exact same situation, just a different hairpin. So we take that position. Dofra loses out, unfortunately, there, but we continue on up the hill now, and we've got Kelster up ahead. Can we overtake Kelster? So we've caught up to Kelster at least, which is a good thing here. We've got Nico right behind us, who I know is going to be good on tyres, because that Hyundai is very good on tyres. I'm not sure why, but yeah, it is good. I was screaming Kelster move over here, but he wasn't, unfortunately. And then the last second does, but unfortunately Nico's on our inside now. Understeer Titty for the Audi TT, so Nico goes by. Unfortunately for me, that's going to cost me quite a few positions. Thanks, Kelster. You could have moved over sooner. I'm only playing its racing. You do what you like. And into the right hand we go, an SVDR on the inside here, so I'm trying to pull back in and try and get in that space, so then Dofra manages to just get on the inside there. Gives me room on the left just there. Slight little bit of contact here and there, but that's just because it's tight racing, so, you know, no harm, no foul there. We continue on, and we've actually gone from, what was it, P13 back down to P17 now. So we had a really good moment into a really bad moment. So we continue on out of that corner, And yeah, we're going to head towards the start finish line and start lap number 7 with Jomas right behind us here. Is Jomas going to get the move done? You can see all sorts of action happening up ahead as well. Everybody all over the place. Kelster trying to survive here. Into the first corner we go. We've outbraked Jomas. Woohoo! We've done something right. Into the first corner we go. And you can see SVDR's dropped back a little bit. Those hard tyres should be coming into play now, which is why SVDR will be faster of the front wheel drive cars at this moment. Into the next corner we go. And you can see Nico just getting past Kelster there. I'm not sure whether there's a little bit of tap there as well, but Kelster having to really go defensive here. And you can see everyone trying to find a way past now. Kelster's really struggling here, and we're trying to go down the inside. Unfortunately, we do tap Doff for there. That is our own fault. Bit of a Constantina effect happening. Jomas then hit me as well because of it. So that was my mistake, and good to see that Doffer didn't lose a position there. But that was my mistake. And everyone makes mistakes at the end of the day. I always say this. You've seen that in all my streams, and I do say it as well. As we continue up the hill now, SVDR, Doffra, Kelster. Kelster's still trying to defend to save his life here. And into the hairpin we go. Any outside moves going to happen? They both run wide. SVDR goes, thank you very much, guys. I'll have that one. And Jomas up the inside of me as well. So Jomas goes, thank you, Tidge. I'll have that one. And I go, damn you, Jomas. So we're going to try and keep towards the right here. We go for a little bit of a dive. We managed to keep it on the inside here. So side by side with Jomas. Into the right-hander we go. We're going to have to struggle a little bit here with a lot of understeer. You can see our tyres are basically non-existent at this moment in time. Still side by side with Jomas. We did push him a little bit tight there, and then into the right-hander we go. Then Kelster comes back across here. We have to slow down not to hit Kelster. That puts Jomas on the inside. So Jomas manages to get that position eventually. Into the left-hander we go again. And then the final corner of the long right-hander. And you can see our tyres are destroyed. But obviously Kelster's are even worse at this moment in time. So we're just trying to survive. Round we go. Kelster, Jomas side by side, and Kelster's just had to come off the throttle there to avoid punting Jomas. So we then pull in. So Kelster could have pulled in there, to be fair. It would have been risky because the closing speed I had was quite severe. So we managed to get past Kelster, back into P16. So we're back where we started. We've been up and down this grid like a blimmin' yo-yo as we continue on now out of that first corner and the end of first sector. And now we're just going to speed up a little bit. Let's have a look how far Jomas escapes and how far we can escape Kelster in all of this. You can see SVDR has actually got past Doffra there as well, obviously with that 3 wide action that happened earlier on lap number 7. Heading up the hill one last time into the hairpin we go. Look at that, plus 2.1 seconds. That's how bad our tyre wear is. I mean, look, Cooper Tom, a 151.8 in the race. I can't even get that in qualifying. So kind of crazy. You can see Jomas has just absolutely escaped. Kelster's absolutely dropped. So at the end here, it's a bit of a funny moment. Jomas decides to slow down. So I think, oh, we'll go for a funny old finish here. So I let off as well, trying to get a formation finish. But the pleb here didn't realise the finish line was so close. So yeah, that didn't happen. And Kelster goes for the unorthodox finish. But that's going to be it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video of round number 12 at Autopolis. Lots more FIA highlights to come. But that's going to be it for now, guys. Thanks very much for watching. And I will see you in the next video.